Good morning. I hope everyone's well today. Thank you for watching. Hope Not Hate, our favourite non-government organisation, may actually be getting what's coming to it. It may be getting what it deserves. Many people may not know what Hope Not Hate is. Many people may not know what a NGO is. That's what I'm going to go into a little bit in this video. Lowles, who is or used to be the head of Hope Not Hate, has recently resigned. He's become too high profile. That's my opinion on why he's resigned. Basically, everyone knows who he is, everyone knows his face, that's why his face is on the thumbnail of this video. Non-government organisations basically can be anything, and they can be there to shape opinion, they can be there to force a narrative, they can be there to keep the status quo, they can be there to make sure that the evil far right don't do anything that the government, either Labour or Tory, don't like. Hope Not Hate specifically is a charity, was a registered charity, alright? They do a lot of crowdfunding. There was a recent crowdfunder for the United Kingdom rally to fund counter-protests. So whenever you see any of these lefties with their self-made signs, remember how they're funded. They are funded by organisations like Hope Not Hate. My trade union that I used to be with, before I quit last year, actually donated money to these cancer protests. That's one of the main reasons why I left the trade union. And more likely than not, other sources of revenue would be National Lottery, would be donations from interested parties. The point of the matter there, is that they are there to maintain the status quo by and large. And Hope Not Hate specifically have done pretty nefarious things, which I'm going to get into. Last year, during the Southport riots, Lowles, who was at the time the head, put out false information saying that white people were going around acid attacking Muslim women. A lot of people took issue with this. He came out a day or two later and apologised. He's not been arrested. He wasn't brought to justice. If you're on the right side of the argument, you can basically just get away with it, it seems. This is what two-tier Britain is. So I hope I've clearly defined what an NGO is. I'm going to go into it in a bit more detail now, okay? The Tory MP, Jack Rankin, has written to the CEO of the Charity Commission demanding it investigates Hope Not Hate for possible breaches of its charitable status. This is bad news for the Labour-linked group. Now, while this is welcome, this is just me now, while this is welcome, it begs the question, why wasn't nothing done about it while the Tories were in power for the past 15 years or 14 years? Because it wasn't politically expedient for them to do so. They expect credit now because they're doing something they should have done while they were in office. Well, no, I'm not going to bite at that cherry. I'm going to expose them. They should have done it when they were in power, and they refused to do so. Hope Not Hate Limited Company is purely political operation with reported history of fabricating security threats, spreading disinformation, and pushing smear campaigns. It seems incompatible with charitable requirements to further public benefit in a balanced, non-partisan way. So that's what this MP, the Windsor MP, Jack Rankin, is going to do. The Charity Commission should be able to get rid of Hope Not Hate. This is just one of the many, many NGOs that are probably doing the same thing. I would also cast a microscope over Curve Calais, maybe Stand Up to Racism, to name a couple. All of these are charities, and because they are on the right side of history and they're doing the right thing, in their head, in their mentality, the ends justify the means. It's unacceptable. That's how you stifle debate and democracy. And then we look at this particular information. This is an excerpt from an article in The Spectator last week. Simone Collins remembers a moment her guard came down. She was speaking to a polite, slightly effacing British man who has introduced himself over email as Christopher Morton, a wealthy philanthropist who was interested in donating to her charity, which promotes pronatalism. Pronatalism can be a controversial political cause, so Simone was understandably cautious that it might be too good to be true. To allay her fears, he sent her a photograph of a passport in that name, for Collins. It was proof that Morton was who he claimed to be. Months later, she realised that Christopher Morton was in fact Harry Schuckman, a British journalist who'd been working undercover for Hope Not Hate, an anti-fascist organisation whose charitable arm has received funding from the British government. The passport, she said, was part of a ruse. We have seen the email and picture of the document, a British passport bearing the name Christopher Charles Morton. The photo of the man whose hairline, ears, and facial structure match Schuckman's in known images. So pronatal, that's obviously pro-life. Many people nowadays would be saying that that's far right. That means you're anti-woman, you're misogynist if you're not pro-choice. This is what Hope Not Hate don't like. They don't like the opposing side of the argument. If you've got people that are pro-choice, having people that are pro-life, that's the opposite of the coin. That's what a democracy is. The governments, both Labour and Tories, have depended on organisations like this since 1997 at least to make sure that their preferred narrative remains the dominant one. This is why this is quite revealing, because Hope Not Hate look like they're going to go down. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it with my popcorn. Let me look at this particular image now. This is from Connor Tomlinson, formerly of Lotus Eaters. I think he's branched out on his own. He's a good gentleman. I have a lot of time for him and I have a lot of respect for him. The Spectator's John Power has investigated the fake passport used by Hope Not Hate's operative Harry Schuckman to pose as an alias Christopher Charles Morton to entrap subjects of their smear campaign for Channel 4 and The Guardian, i.e. if you're pro-life, that is a controversial issue. I reported Schuckman to the Met Police for appearing to violate the Identity Documents Act of 2010 back in October 24. Despite multiple reports, the requests for an update, I received nothing. I was told on one call, after providing the reference number, no such report existed. Why do Hope Not Hate continuously evade consequences for their actions and law breaking? How can they engage in reputation destruction, intimidation, and spreading falsehoods time and time again without repercussions? How did Schuckman procure a convincing forgery of a passport in the first place? The financial ties between Hope Not Hate and the British state via the Home Office are well documented, but they have had the help of the police or intelligence services too, or have they? Shall I say I've misspoke there. These are pieces of circumstantial evidence that suggest that this is the case. But until they are made to answer for them as conduct, rather than tell the spectators such claims as which are highly libelous, how ironic, then their evidence adds to a sense that there's a two-tier system. Completely agree with all of that. If you're on the right side, you get the kid gloves, you get the end justifies the means mentality from the British state. Where did they get these forged passport documents? Why is Nick Lowles allowed to incite hatred against white people? Because he's on the other side of the political aisle. Why did the Tories do nothing about this while they were in power? All of these answers are needed. Inquiring minds need to know. I'm not going to go as far as to say that all of these people should be in prison. That would be for a jury to decide. Presents all of the information. However, it begs further investigation. This is my view. I'm happy that the Tory minister or the former Tory minister has done this. However, it's just done for political purposes. It's not done for the public good. It's not done to help me or help you or to help anyone in the country. It's done because the Tories need to big big up their political party, say, look, we are right-leaning after all. Nah, not at all. Not at all. You had a chance to fix all of this when you were in power. You didn't do anything about it. If anything comes of this and Hope Not Hate is actually disbanded, you need to get the roots, or it's just going to go back. If they are getting help from the police, if they are getting help with sympathetic ears in the Home Office, all of that needs to be exposed. It is completely, completely unacceptable. Maybe if there was an NGO on our side of the political aisle, maybe, I don't know, Restore Britain, they could do some legwork for you, maybe. Just an idea. As always, your mileage may vary. Now, do you want Hope Not Hate to be disbanded? Do you think Nicholas should be in prison? Do you think other people that are running around with forged identity documents that are convincing, should they go to prison as well? I certainly think so. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. I appreciate your time. You like this video? Subscribe. Let me know if you think I'm talking out the back of my head. All opinions are valid. Have a good day and thank you for watching.